I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Adam Beam. 4 years ago, a tragedy here shocked the community. 15-year-old William Quince Colburn III shot and killed his mother, father, and younger sister before taking his own life. Now, years later, I caught up with his older sister as she continues her relentless fight to reopen the case. I must warn you, the following story may be disturbing to some viewers. Full of life is how Mariah Batts describes her brother Quince.
He's the definition of a boy's boy. If you told him he couldn't jump off of a house, he was gonna go do it twice.
The night of September 15th seemed like any other night. Mariah, living in San Antonio, had spoken to her family like she did every night.
Nothing seemed off. Everything seemed very normal.
Things would soon take a tragic turn.
There's a lot of blood.
What responding officers, the community, and eventually Mariah and her family would learn is that night Quince took one of the family's handguns and shot and killed his sister, his father, and his mother, sharing photos of the crime scene on social media before taking his own life when deputies arrived.
Nobody have it. Shots fired.
And I didn't know why it had happened, but there was a lot of different emotions and different feelings, from like sadness, anger, frustration, not understanding.
The San Patricio County Sheriff's Office deemed the case cut and dry, but as Quince's sister, something didn't feel right. With her brother's digital activities, she began searching online for answers. After some digging, she came across one comment from a Reddit user claiming to be Quince's girlfriend, but it was one specific detail that caught her eye.
But she specifically commented on one. He killed the dogs because Wally was licking the blood off of Emma's face. There were never any postings, no documentation, no nothing about what the dogs' names were. That is what triggered me to know that she knew my brother more on a personal level.
Mariah reached out and eventually received a response. The girl, a minor we're calling User, was initially forthcoming. She alleged she and Quince had a plan for him to kill his family, travel to Florida to kill hers, and then run away together. To back up her claims, the user sent Mariah dozens upon dozens of screenshots containing private conversations and even crime scene photos not yet public.
But the more that I talked to her, the more information that she knew that was impossible to know unless you had a very close relationship with my brother.
Convinced User played a role, Mariah took everything to law enforcement. But her pleas to reopen the case were met with roadblocks. The sheriff's office told her the case was closed. I reached out myself and was told the case is dead. She then turned to law enforcement in User's home state, but was told agencies here had to request the assistance. When those avenues failed, she turned to federal investigators. But while the FBI initially showed interest, they too declined to pursue it. Criminal attorney Kyle Hochler says this is a common way to pass the buck.
Both of those sound like things that law enforcement frequently says to kick the can down the road so that it's not their problem, it's someone else that's holding it up, and then they don't have to answer questions anymore.
Hochler says without law enforcement's support, the legal hurdles are likely insurmountable.
If the authorities have looked at this and said, we're not proceeding, we're not reopening, then unfortunately there may not be enough evidence that exists to prove any kind of criminal culpability against this person.
Despite these legal dead ends, Mariah presses on, driven by a need for the truth and the fear that history could repeat itself, still occasionally communicating with User.
One statement she says kind of haunts me often. She says, I hate to admit it, but if it wasn't for me, I don't think that this ever would have happened.
And it's for that reason she can't give up.
I mean, you can get jail time because I knew a robbery was gonna happen, but she knew murders were gonna happen and nothing is being done. But if this can save one child or one family from going through what we're going through right now and the truth just to be told, then somehow, some way, this has to be worth it.
Now, I also spoke with the FBI. A representative who spoke with us on background says that they do not pursue cases against children, to which Hochler said he was confused by that response, calling it nonsense. As for Mariah, she says that she will continue to search for answers until justice is served. For Chris 6 News, I'm Adam Beam.